you ever felt like life has become a series of predictable routines, leaving you wondering if it's too late to rediscover the spark of joy and purpose? Paulo, a man once resigned to a life of monotony, proves that transformation is always possible, even when it feels like time is against you. In this video, we'll uncover the small, profound changes that reignited Paulo's zest for life, reshaped his mindset, and inspired an entire community to embrace renewal through his story. You'll discover the power of small habits to spark massive change, how to overcome limiting beliefs, and take your first steps toward a better life. The importance of connection mindfulness and self-care at any age. Real-life lessons on how to create a legacy that extends beyond yourself. Stay with us until the end, because Paulo's journey isn't just a story. It's a guide to transforming your own life, whether you're seeking inspiration, clarity, or simply a reason to believe in new beginnings. This video will leave you with actionable insights and hope for what's possible if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet. I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment one below if it doesn't resonate with you. Leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial, as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now let's get started. Paulo lived a life shrouded in monotony. Devoid of the thrill and vibrancy he once dreamed of, his existence had become a series of predictable days, marked by the quiet hum of loneliness and an unspoken resignation to the passage of time. Widowed for over a decade, he had retreated into a cocoon of routine where each day began with a steaming cup of strong coffee and a slice of buttered bread, only to end slouched in front of the flickering glow of his television. The aches that rippled through his body, the constant fatigue that dulled his spirit, and the lingering sense of emptiness seemed to him the unavoidable toll of growing old life he thought had nothing more to offer. But life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it one unassuming afternoon. As Paulo ambled through the park with his usual heavy steps, he crossed paths with Clara. She was running her every movement, brimming with an effortless grace that seemed to defy the world's weight. Her radiant smile was like a burst of sunlight piercing through his overcast days, her laughter carrying the kind of warmth he hadn't felt in years when their eyes met. Paulo felt something stir within, a faint spark and a heart long dimmed. Clara slowed her pace and stopped to chat, her energy almost magnetic. "Have you ever noticed?" She said, her voice as vibrant as her demeanor. "How small habits can completely transform how we feel. I truly believe it's never too late to start over her words, struck a deep chord echoing through Paolo's mind like a long-forgotten melody for the first time in what felt like an eternity. Someone truly saw him, not the tired, aging man he believed himself to be, but a soul capable of change, sensing his curiosity. Clara invited him for coffee, a gesture so simple yet profound. In it kindness over steaming cups, they delved into their lives. Clara listened intently as Paolo recounted his days, a routine marked by discouragement and inertia. He spoke of his sedentary habits and uninspired diet, his voice tinged with self-deprecation. Clara, however, smiled knowingly. "All of that can change, Paolo," she set her eyes. Al light with conviction. "You just need to take the first step." That brief encounter became the catalyst for a profound awakening. Paolo couldn't shake the memory of Clara's words. Her belief in the transformative power of small changes. It was as if she had handed him a key to a door he hadn't known existed, a door that led to hope, vitality, and a new beginning. Yet the prospect of change felt like an insurmountable mountain. He had spent so many years entrenched in his ways, convinced that time had stripped him of his best opportunity. Unity's still deep within a quiet voice urged him to try, determined to honor that spark. Paolo decided to start small. He remembered Clara's gentle suggestion. Change begins with what you put into your body. The next morning, he replaced his beloved white bread and butter with a bowl of oatmeal sprinkled with vibrant fruits and crunchy nuts. The simplicity of his old breakfast called to him, but within days he felt an undeniable shift. His energy began to return, a lightness replacing the heaviness that had plagued him for so long. Encouraged by this small victory, Paolo embraced another of Clara's suggestions. Morning stretches, waking up your body, she had said, is as vital as feeding your mind at first. The stretches felt awkward and trivial, his stiff muscles reluctant to cooperate. But soon those gentle movements became a sacred ritual. Each stretch was a gift to his weary body, a quiet moment of care and connection. He began looking forward to those early minutes, relishing the sense of release and renewal they brought as the days turned into weeks. Paolo's transformation gained momentum. What had started as a reluctant effort to honor Clara's encouragement blossomed into a journey of self-discovery. For the first time in years, he felt alive, with possibility, purpose, and the intoxicating realization that life still held wonders to explore. Clara wasn't just an inspiration. She was a reminder that it's never too late to reignite the fire within, to rewrite a story you thought had ended. And Paolo, once resigned to a life of quiet despair, now faced each day with a heart open to change and a spirit ready to soar. What truly astonished Paolo was how Clara could turn the simplest acts into profound lessons on living one day as they shared a coffee. She urged him to walk more. How she said with conviction, "Have you ever thought about how something as simple as walking can transform not just your health, but your entire outlook on life?" Her words carried a weight that Paolo couldn't ignore. She invited him to join her for a walk in the park, and what began as a hesitant stroll soon blossomed into something much more a gateway to rediscovering the joy of movement and the beauty of connection. As they walked, the conversation flowed effortlessly, touching on life choices and the resilience of the hum and spirit. Clara shared insights about how walking wasn't just exercise. It was a way to reconnect with the body and release endorphins, the so-called happiness hormones. Every step, she explained, is a small act of love for yourself, a signal to your body that you're choosing vitality over stagnation. For Paolo, who once regarded walking as a tedious chore, this newfound perspective was transformative. Each step through the park became an awakening. He began to notice the vibrant colors of the leaves, the gentle caress of the wind on his face, and the harmonious symphony of birdsong and rustling branches. With Clara by his side, urging him to take just one more step, Paolo found himself going further, not just through the park's winding paths, but into a realm of possibility he had long abandoned. Still, the road to transformation was not without its obstacles. Paolo's internal battles loomed large, shaped by years of limiting beliefs, and the nagging thought that it was too late for change. One day, he voiced his fears to Clara. "I think it's too late for me." Her response was firm, yet compassionate. "Paolo," she said, gripping his hand, "too late only happens when you decide to stop trying, as long as there's breath in you and a willingness to move forward. It's never too late." Her words echoed in his heart, becoming a mantra that spurred him on during moments of doubt, determined to honor her faith in him. Paolo began making small but meaningful changes to his routine. He started to grasp that age wasn't the true barrier. His mindset was. The transformation wasn't immediate or dramatic, but with every small adjustment, the rewards accumulated. Clara's suggestions, which once seemed daunting, became opportunities to rediscover joy. Each step, each change felt less like a burden and more like a celebration of life. One of his greatest challenges was tackling his reliance on processed foods. Paolo had long favored convenience over nutrition, relying on canned soups, stuffed breads, and sugary cookies. "I thought these foods were harmless," he admitted sheepishly to Clara. She patiently explained how such products were draining his energy, inflaming his body, and exacerbating the very aches and fatigue he blamed on aging. Rather than overwhelm him with drastic changes, Clara proposed a gentler approach, gradual substitution together. They explored the art of preparing simple, wholesome meals, Paolo discovered the satisfaction of crafting vibrant salads with fresh greens, whole grains, and bursts of color from crisp vegetables. Clara showed him how to season grilled chicken with fragrant herbs and whip up natural juices, bursting with the sweetness of fresh fruits. To his surprise, Paolo found a new passion in cooking. What once seemed like a chore became an act of self-care and creativity. As his diet transformed, so did his approach to stress. Clara introduced the concept of mindful pauses, urging Paolo to carve out moments of stillness in his day stress can be as damaging as poor nutrition, she reminded him. At first, Paolo felt awkward, pausing his busy mind for a few minutes of deep breathing. But with time, those quiet moments became a sanctuary, easing his tension and clarifying his thoughts. A defining moment in Paolo's journey came during a long, overdue visit to the doctor. For years, he had avoided checkups, fearful of uncovering problems he might not want to face. But Clara's gentle insistence prevention is always better than cure gave him the courage to make an appointment. The results were nothing short of remarkable. His doctor, who had once been concerned about high blood pressure and in chronic fatigue, marveled at the improvements. Paolo's blood pressure had stabilized, his energy had returned, and the weight of his exhaustion had lifted the medical validation. Invigorated Paolo for the first time in years. He felt the power of his own agency, the realization that his choices were reshaping his body, his mind, and his life. Along with improved health came an unexpected and exhilarating sense of confidence. He no longer saw himself as a man limited by age, but as someone who still had the capacity to dream and achieve. Clara remained his unwavering ally, inspiring him to aim even higher together. They began planning small adventures, weekend trips to nearby towns, hikes through scenic trails, and explorations of places Paolo had long forgotten. He wanted to visit. Each journey was more than just a change of scenery. It was a celebration of his red-as-covered zest for life. In Clara, Paolo found not only a friend, but a guiding light. A reminder that even the smallest changes can lead to the most extraordinary transformations. Through these changes, Paolo began to understand that caring for himself wasn't selfish. It was a way of honoring his life with time. He realized that each small step he took wasn't just improving his health, but also his outlook on life. He woke up each morning feeling eager to embrace the day, a feeling he thought his story didn't end with his personal transformation. It evolved into something much greater. As his health mindset and relationships improved, Paolo began to notice how his changes were inspiring others around him. Friends, family, and even strangers started asking him for advice, curious about how he had managed to revitalize his life at an age when many feel it's too late to change one day. His nephew, a young man struggling with motivation, asked Uncle Paolo. How do you keep going? How do you stay? He began bringing their own ideas, recipes, and exercises, creating a space where everyone felt encouraged to improve their lives. Paolo's courage to share his story had a ripple effect. One woman who initially came to the group out of curiosity confided in Paolo, "I've been feeling lost for years, but seeing you take these steps gives me hope that I can do it too." For Paolo, moments like this reinforced his belief that transformation wasn't just about individual growth. It was about creating a chai Enes came when a local university asked him to share his experience with students studying psychology and wellness. Paolo, standing before a room full of eager faces, said, "We often think aging is a downhill journey, but it's only that way if you let it be. Every moment is an opportunity to redefine yourself." In addition to these events, Pao began journaling regularly, capturing his thoughts. You are still watching this video with me. The guidebook became a beacon of hope, a tool for transformation that Paolo distributed freely through local libraries, community centers, and online platforms. His goal was simple, yet profound, to reach those who felt trapped by routine. The pages with wide-eyed wonder. When he finished, he looked up, his voice soft, yet brimming with admiration. "Grandpa," he said, "when I grow up, I want to be like you in that moment." Paolo's heart swelled with a joy so deep it brought tears to his eyes. It was a powerful reminder that even the smallest actions could ripple through generations, planting seeds of inspiration and hope, embracing the final chapters. As Paolo entered his later years, his body began to slow, but his spirit remained, as about how many breaths we take. He said, his voice warm and steady, "It's about the moments that take our breath away, the ones we choose to truly embrace. I wouldn't trade this journey for anything." Clara, her eyes glistening with tears of love and pride, responded softly, "You've shown us all that it's never too late to live with purpose, Pooh. You've given us the greatest gift, a reminder that life is meant to be lived fully, no matter where we are in our story, a celebration of life when conversations." To the guidebook that had become a lifeline for so many, Paolo's influence had created a ripple effect that spanned far beyond what he could have imagined. Clara, who had been his steadfast companion through it all, stood to speak. Her voice was steady, but her words carried the weight of a lifetime of love and admiration. Paolo's legacy, she said, her eyes scanning the crowd, isn't just in the life he lived. It's in the lives he transformed. He taught us that every day is a chance to, yes, a plaque was installed, inscribed with words that captured the essence of his journey in loving memory of Paolo. A man who showed us that every step forward, no matter how small, has the power to transform a life. May his journey inspire us all to begin again. The tree became a place of reflection and inspiration for the community. Its roots a living symbol of Paolo's enduring legacy. Strangers and loved ones alike would visit some leaving flowers, others sitting quietly beneath its shade to time now. As you reflect on Paolo's journey, ask yourself, what small step can you take today to begin your own transformation? Let his story be your invitation to embrace change, rediscover purpose, and live fully. The journey starts now. Now that you've journeyed through Paolo's inspiring story, what resonated most with you? What is one thing you've learned that you're ready to put into practice in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below.